Things I would do differently if I was starting a notary business in 2025. If you guys don't know, my name is Knowledge. I own a 7-figure notary business, soon to be 8, and I've had a very long, painful journey. So right now I'm just showing you guys things that I wouldn't do and things that could probably speed up your process a little bit faster on gaining money and getting a little bit more financial income that will free you from your jobs or just allow you to work either from home or just work for yourself entirely. So first thing I have here is, let's get into it. Commission. I wouldn't procrastinate with getting my commission. First things first. When it comes to getting your commission, usually we want to drag our feet, tell everybody around us, "Hey, I'm getting my commission. Hey, I want to be a notary. I'm working on getting this, that, and the third." But when you tend to tell people things in your brain, it kind of works as like a sort of accomplishment, and your brain already thinks that you do it, that you've already done it. So from the time that you talk about doing it, from the time that you actually get your commission, that gap is big. So for me, I would just go ahead and keep that to myself in the beginning and just make my first priority to go ahead and get that commission as fast as possible, because there's already a lot of things that you have to do after the facts when it comes to being a notary in general. So I wouldn't procrastinate. I wouldn't drag my feet. I wouldn't even binge watch a whole bunch of content. All I'm doing when I'm first starting off with my notary business is get my commission, because I can't do anything once I have that. I can't do anything until I have that. My apologies. Second off, I would go into learning all the documents. So usually when people get their commission, or even before they actually become a notary, what they'll tend to do is want to ask all these LLC questions and tax questions, which is like level 4. And when you're new to the game, you're like on level 0. No offense, you're like on level 0, level 1. So straight out the gate, I'm not worried about, oh, all these tax and LLC questions. Straight out the gate, I'm worried about getting my commission, and then second things second is learning how to do these documents. Because when you actually become a notary, you're gonna have all these various type of documents to work on. You're gonna have your power of attorneys, you're gonna have your estate plans, you're gonna have your loan signings, you're gonna have your G&Ws or your general notary works, you're gonna have your wedding documents. There's gonna be so many different documents that you have to learn how to do, and I would just spend more time familiarizing myself with all these documents so that I can overcome that first hurdle when it comes to being a notary. And that first hurdle after your commission is having the confidence to go out and do these documents. So like when I'm on TikTok and when I'm just teaching other notaries the game and how to like speed up their process, a lot of times newer notaries are saying that they're nervous, they don't want to mess up the documents. But had you have started with a high level of document knowledge and understanding on how to complete these correctly, having the confidence to do those, being scared about doing a document, that wouldn't be anything. You wouldn't be scared about doing a power of attorney if you've already spent tens of hours online looking up how to do it, which it doesn't even take that long. You can learn how to do these documents in a couple of hours. You just need to sit down and learn how to do each of these documents. So like I'm saying, the first thing is commission. The second thing is documents. To be even a little bit more specific, to just give you guys a little bit more game when it comes to documents, I would find out the most common documents or the most well-paying documents, and then I would just write down a list of all of those. You can easily do this by going to any notary in your area's website and just looking at the documents that they provide services to, write those down, and then learn how to do each of those one by one. Because once you know how to do that, you know the business. All you have to do is learn all the other stuff, like the marketing and stuff. But once you learn how to actually do the documents, your confidence will be able to go through the roof. Because when you finally do get your first notary appointment, you can walk in there with your chest held high and your head held high and just be like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know what this looks like. I've looked at tens of hours of these documents and I have that notary knowledge. So I'm not scared. I'm not scared about stamping a piece of paper and signing it. What? There's nothing to be scared about. But you don't study the documents, so of course you're going to be scared because you don't know what you're doing yet. And that's okay. But you need to learn it. Third thing is the website. This is a question. This is probably one of the most, even when I'm doing a lot of coaching calls, this is probably one of the most things that come up a lot. And your website is very important, but it's important not to spend a ton of time on this. You don't need to spend a week, well, maybe a week most, but you don't need to spend 2-3 weeks, a couple of months working on getting a website up. What are you doing? You got so much other stuff to worry about. If you're not tech savvy and you have a little bit of cash, your best bet is to go onto Fiverr, go onto Upwork, pay somebody to create a website or a landing page for you and get that hurdle out the way. because there's still other things that you need to do, such as knowing what pricing you need to do, how to market, how to get the name out there. Like, there's other things that you need to do. So sticking on the website and having that be an excuse as to why you didn't start your notary business up because you're waiting for your website to get uploaded and connected into the domain, that's BS. You're wasting time. The point of this is to hurry up and close the gap between not having money and having money. And you do that by just doing the things you need to do and getting straight to work. All this other fluff, all this, fancy website, all of this other stuff, it doesn't matter. Like, it sounds good, especially when I hear like other creators talk about it. It sounds good. Yes, it's important. But if you haven't even had your first notary job yet, you just need to pay somebody, get that website done, move on to the next problem. This is something I teach a lot too. Like, some of these problems be so small, but you guys are like stuck on this problem, not knowing like, okay, this is just a baby mountain. After this mountain, you got a bigger mountain that you need to climb. So hurry up and get over this mountain. So pay somebody and do it. If you don't have the money, or if you're starting out this notary business on a lower budget, you need to spend the next 3 days, anytime you have free time, learning how to create a website. You could do the Google sites, you could do Squarespace, you could do Wix, you could do Wistia, you could do, there's a ton of other free resources and easy website builders that you can use to create it. Just take a couple of hours, take 1 to 3 days max, learn how to set up a simple site, get that out the way, and move on to the next problem. Because as you start bringing in more money from your actual notary business, at that point you can turn around, take that money, reinvest it back into the business, have somebody make you a better site. But you need to hurry up and get to the point where you could bring money in. So the third thing I'm doing is I'm getting a website up there as soon as possible, because then at that point, that gives you something to put on your business cards, on your flyers, market, put in your bios on social media, all of that stuff. It allows you to do that. And once you have that website, it's just another degree of professionalism that you'll hold when speaking to individuals that need your notary services. So like I said, first thing is commission. Your second thing is your documents. Your third thing is your marketing, and not spending months on it. It shouldn't take you a whole month. I would say max 2 weeks. Anything other than 2 weeks is OD. You guys are overdoing it. Like, it doesn't take that long. Even if you're not tech savvy, you can find a couple of dollars to pay somebody to make you something simple. Let's be real, guys. Don't drag your feet on this. Moving on is guerrilla marketing. So once I had the website up, next thing I'm focused on is guerrilla marketing, especially if I was tighter on budget. And when I started off, I was tighter on budget. So this is when you hurry up and you make these business cards, you make these flyers, you make these door hangers, and you go out there and you start thinking outside the box. How can I get my services out there without having to run ads and SEO and all this other online digital stuff that costs more money? What I'm doing is I'm creating my business card, I'm creating my flyers ASAP, and I'm going out there, I'm putting them in car door handles, or I'm going to businesses and I'm passing them out, or I'm writing postcards and I'm mailing them to attorneys' offices. There's so many different things you could do. So after my website is up, I'm thinking about different guerrilla marketing tactics, because at this point, your first 1 to 2 months of being a notary, the main thing that needs to be on your mind, and I teach this a lot, is just getting your first client. If you don't have any clients, your first top priority needs to be, how can I get more clients? Nothing else. Don't worry about no LLC right now. Don't worry about all these other little hiccups and fluffy things that make you feel like you're doing business. That's not you actually doing business. Get straight to it. Get that first client. Because once you get that first client, just that one process, you're going to learn a lot more things from. And you're going to actually see what a document looks like in real life and how to actually notarize it also. So I'm focused on guerrilla marketing right after that, making my business cards, I'm making my flyers ASAP, making my door hangers, and I'm going out there. Everybody's about to know I'm a notary, so I can bring my money in as fast as possible, because you want to get that first client out the way. Next up, I'm studying online tactics, ads, and SEO. This is a whole beast in itself. Usually when I get on coaching calls, first thing people want to ask me is like, oh yeah, what about ads? You can't jump straight into doing ads, especially if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you have to hire somebody. Because what will tend to happen is you're spending money on these ads that are horrible. One, the people that you hire are BSing you because they don't know what they're doing, and you don't know what you're doing, or you even know what the back end of it looks like. So they can just be telling you, hey, yeah, we're getting it cranked up. They can just waste your time and waste your money. So in order to have a better understanding, you're going to have to spend time to learn enough about the SEO and about ads to know if somebody's BSing you. So that in and of itself, is its own thing. But you shouldn't even do that unless your website is up, good to go, and you know the documents. Because when clients and customers start coming in, you need to know how to knock them out as fast as possible and give amazing service so you can get those reviews, which is then going to compound and get you more customers. So don't even worry about that part yet. You don't need to be worrying about ads right now. You don't need to be worried about that if you haven't done those steps before. And like I said, just to summarize on that, my actual last point would actually be getting that first job. Like I've been saying throughout it, all your energy needs to be going towards getting that first job. Everything needs to be going towards that. And then once you get that, just start repeating the process. Let me get to my first 10. Let me get to my first 10. And then after I get that first 10, I'm going back, I'm analyzing what medium brought those people in. What vehicle brought those people in? Was it the ads? Was it the business cards? Was it the flyers? And then you start getting a little bit more creative with it. But I'll go into that in another video. But just to recap once more, guys, these are the things I would do differently if I was starting a notary business in 2025. I would worry about my commission first. After that, I'm learning all the documents. After that, I'm getting a website up. Shouldn't take me longer than a month. 2 weeks if I'm being real. If I'm keeping it 100, it shouldn't take you even longer than 2 weeks. Then I'm doing guerrilla marketing. And then after I do all that stuff and I've already gotten a client, then I'm going to start learning how to run ads, learning the basics of it. So if I do decide to hire somebody, I know that they're not BSing me. Take it from me, who I hired a company, and I could tell that they were BSing me. But had I not have had prior knowledge, I would not have known they were BSing me. I would have had no idea. No idea. But I went through my steps. So I will go straight to those things. If you guys need any help, put it in the comments below. I'll answer any of your questions 100% free. You can also do a one-on-one if you want down below. And I have free notary tools also in the comments below. But anyways, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Peace, love, knowledge. I'm out.